Hey again, everybody. It's Friday morning, December 3rd, 2021. I have the Vedic chart up here looking at the last three timing windows from yesterday and the prior close before that. We came into the day session close on the first, made a low in this window, then went into a long upward drift. And then when we got to the next window, we made a high, and then we went into a downward drift. Not a clear move, just kind of a drift up, a drift down, but still enough volatility to make it tradable. We got into the early morning window yesterday. The down drift ended right here about 9:12. Didn't really have a timer to signal that, but then we got a new high at our first timer, so that triggered a short here at a little bit after 10. And this type of thing, I like these SPY options if you're looking for something different than trading the ES futures, or you can trade the ES futures options. But this, you got a little ABC swing down. Generally, what I'll do with those, I'll give it one reaction on the 4 minute and I'll stay for that third wave, or take partials off on the initial and then stick for the third wave. So depending on your style and your plan, you have to decide what to do. So what happened? We hit the first timer, we got the trigger down, we went right to the next timer, got the reaction up, turned down, and we got that C wave pushed down. So if you're type of trader that uses pattern and Fibonacci, and this is kind of a typical Gartley pattern right here. So you can see that you got this nice impulsive move up, then you get this ABC wave down. With your technical thinking, you can see that you've overbalanced all this prior activity here. And then when you get this ABC move down and this upswing is confirmed, you can then, be looking at that as a trend change. But then when we hit the next timer, it was a legitimate short trigger. So there's another short triggered here, and even there, it's a pretty good trade, even though it doesn't look like much. It's a pretty good trade on a 4 minute chart. So all the windows were effective. We had new low, a new high, then we had a low and a high in that window. The second top here, we didn't get as big of a reaction as we did on the first one, and then we moved out of that window and then just went into consolidation the rest of the day. We have an interesting pattern today. You can see here's the overnight. I don't give as much credence to these windows at this time of day. Uh, this is Eastern time between 7 and midnight. I don't give that a lot of credence. I tend to lean more towards once we get to into the European session, and then I look at that. Now this is a pattern here that I don't recall seeing since we've been using this stuff for the last year plus. But we do have this overlap here on these windows, right? So we've got the as we move later into the morning, we get to the 8 o'clock area here, 8:40, where we get into these three windows overlapping: the A3, the B1, and the B2. The bright green, and the white. So what I've done, this first bigger box outlines the B1 panel, and that's kind of the concentration point where all these three windows are going to be effective together. The vertical lines, I'm punching in the center of the A1 bright green and white blocks and using those for timers. Then the green arrow, this green arrow here is a PH trigger. The other three green arrows are off the rainbow chart. I'm looking for the same pattern with the white and bright green windows on the rainbow as I am here on this Vedic chart. So let me pull that in a second. Okay, here's the rainbow chart. So what I'm looking at here, I marked these two blue vertical lines in on here. If you look at the top four panels here, you can see I've got the two bright green boxes on A2 and A4 are aligned. Then I have the white block here on A1 and the bright green block on A3. We're all overlapping right here where I put that vertical line. That is this line here on the chart on the right. Looking at this point here, that is about 1125 or so. That's right here at the just about the second arrow. So I drew the smaller red box in, looking for significant, possibly significant trigger there. And then the last green arrow here on the chart on the right is about 1150. That is the second vertical line here on the rainbow chart on the left. And you can see that if you look at the bottom two panels, the A8 is bright green, the A7 is white. That's the overlap right there at about 1147, 1148. So I dropped an arrow in on this chart. So those are kind of the key times inside that window that I'll be looking at today. Then we have another window in the afternoon between about 2:04 and 3:05, and then the key points in there would be the two green blocks on the A1 panel here. So I'd be looking at 1423 and 1443 as key potential areas there. So, with this, you get really good timing, and then you use your pattern and other technicals to decide what you're going to do. You can look up at if we're going to extend and move into one of these timers, you can take a look at the higher frame if you're looking to hold into some longer trades. But these are the good windows for today. Got a couple of nice overlaps. So we'll leave it there. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll take a look at the rest of the dates for December for the daily bar turn signals. So we will talk to you guys on Saturday.